Alrighty, here we go. Why should stop the car at the place where we always waited for Mion? Come think of it, I've never been to Mion's house before. I've only heard that it's right down this road.
お送りできるのはここまでです。情報では、園崎本家は自宅周辺に監視カメラをかなり配置しているらしいんですよ。
Apologies for a second, I must take some coffee. And I know I just drank some, but, you know.
でもご安心を。何度か資格をついて突入できる位置に若いのが何人か待機してます。指向性マイクで中を伺ってますから、お二人が大きな悲鳴を上げてくださればすぐにわかりますよ。
絶対に説得しますから、自首を認めてくださいね。
In both our eyes was determination. I think I should probably turn the volume up a little bit.
くれぐれも注意してください。今さら信じないでしょうが、できることならあなたたちに犠牲になってほしくないんですから。
本当に今更だな。
With that rude response, we left the car. The clinging humidity and the voices of cicadas greeted us. I'd never have expected this would be happening today.
行こう、ケイチ君。
Rena took the lead and began to walk down the road I'd never been.
レナはミオンの家には行ったことがあるんだよな。
うん、何度もあるよ。とても大きな家でね。お庭なんか山が丸ごと入るくらいあるんだよ。松茸が取れるとかなんとかで、いつもは柵がしてあるんだけどね。
Big enough to fit a mountain. That was amazing. One of the three families controlling Hinamizawa, and the head family of the Sonosaki clan. Perhaps there was something to be said about its magnitude. The path continued. Let me just, by the way, put myself a little bit smaller here. The path continued onward, level and uneven, eventful. There were metal fences along its edges, and beyond them were woods with trees growing thickly. The fences were high. The tops of them bent inwards, sticking out like sharp spears. Plus, there was dangerous-looking barbed wire wrapping them. No one could look at them and not feel intimidated. In addition, there were signboards hung up here and there along the fence. Private property of the Sonosaki family. Entrance forbidden. Beware of venomous snakes. Active security cameras. Intruders will be charged an entry fee of 1 million yen.
この森、いや、山か。まるまる庭なのか。
庭というか領地だね。見ての通り私有地ではあるけど手入れも何もしてないから散策ができるような気持ちいい森というわけでもないし。
She could say that again. It really did feel like a neglected, savage woodland. It was dark and damp, and certainly not a forest that made you want to go for a nice walk. Maybe that's just what happens when a landowner has too much land. Like Oishi-san said, there were security cameras hung up all over the place. Though they have been weathered by wind and rain, casting doubt as to whether they were even functional.
俺たちが来るの、ミオンはあれを通して見てるんだろうか。
見てないと思うな。だってみーちゃんの家は基本的におばあちゃんとみーちゃん本人の2人しか住んでないんだもの。カメラを見張ってる人がいないし。
What a useless security system.
みーちゃんのお父さんがいろいろ大変な人みたいでね。だから一族がみんなで集まるときにはちゃんと機能しているらしいよ。
That's right. Mion's father, he was a big shot Yakuza, wasn't he? Rena smoothly danced around the answer as she explained. At last, a huge gate as big as I'd imagined appeared. Was she living by herself with her grandmother in a house with such a grand gateway?
いるかな。
Beep. The old buzzer made a dull sound. Was it got off in the middle and not getting to the house? We waited long enough without a response for me to start thinking like that. However, we finally heard footsteps walking through the gravel on the other side of the gate. I nervously balled my hands, my palms now sweating, arms spaghetti, mom spaghetti. Palms sweating, mom spaghetti, arms heavy. Yeah, I don't know how that song even goes. My palms now sweating into fists. There was a clang of a bolt being released and the gate opened slightly. The person picking out the gap was none other than Mion.
こんな時間に珍しいね。二人とも学校は？
Mion didn't seem all that surprised at visitors arriving in the morning, which wasn't a normal time. In fact, she almost seemed relaxed, as if she knew we were coming beforehand.
学校は休んだよ。
Mion hype? Yeah.
ケイちゃんはともかく、レナも？二人とも不良なんだからな。
Mion smiled slightly, in the way that the Mion we knew always did.
立ち話もなんでしょ。入りなよ。
She gestured for us to follow her. I hesitated for a moment looking at Rena.
行こう。
Oh, it's so peaceful. Like friends meeting another friend. Because that's certainly the only thing that's going on, so... Rena smiled cheerfully as if she were passing through a gate, the gate of good friend's house, and then did just that. I rally myself and then go through the gate too. On the other side, it hadn't been maintained very well, but it was clear that the lot was magnificently wide. It wasn't quite what you'd think when you hear a mansion, but it was very clearly a vast place.
ケイちゃんはうちに来るの初めてだったっけ？
ああ。でけえ家じゃねえか。
今時合掌造りなんて流行らないよ。観光資源にはなるかもしれないけどね。私は早くごくごく平均的な鉄筋コンクリートに建て替えてほしいと思ってるよ。
Mion wryly smiled as she said that, then closed the gate and relocked the heavy bolt.
気にしないで。最近は物騒だからね。日中でもこれくらいはしておかないと。
ああ、そうだな。
Maybe it was my imagination, but I thought I saw a hint of shadow in her smile.
では、ご案内申し上げます。どうぞこちらへ。
Mion bowed to us like a worker at a high-class hotel, then pivoted on her heel and began to walk. Rena gripped my stiffening arm lightly.
ケイチ君、硬くなりすぎかな。私たちはみーちゃんに会いに来たんだよ。そんなに緊張することはないんだから。
Why do I keep pressing the right mouse button? That's right. When I get nervous, I tend to let everything show on my face. I'll stop tensing up. Even if something were to happen, there were two of us. Oishi's subordinates were waiting outside the gate for us too. There was nothing to worry about. After thinking about it that much, I realized my nervousness was already gone and laughed at myself. Why are you so tense? Everything is so happy. Indeed. Everything is just happy and jolly and gay.
ミオン、この新聞紙の上に置いてある漬物石は何だ？邪魔だぞ。
There was a pile of newspapers on the floor of the entrance and there was a large rock on top of them. I didn't understand why something like that was here. Rena noticed me looking at it questioningly and giggled.
レナは知ってるのか？これは何だ？何かのおまじないか？
ケイちゃんがよくわからないなら、それをどかしてそこに靴を脱いでもいいんだけど。
ケイチ君、その石の真上にね、ツバメの巣があるの。
え？あ、本当だ。
人様の家なのに、ツバメが勝手に入ってきて巣を作ってるってわけ。代々語り継いでるのか。
How is this feeling so calm?
作るんだよ。
This is so calm, without any problems. Also, it's like they are in the game. It's spring, and right now it's basically summer or spring rather. The very end of spring. So, what a fitting time to play. And oh my god, it's so hot in here. I need like a fan or something. Jesus. I need Jesus?
迷惑してるんだけどね。
つまりね、そこはツバメの糞とかが落ちてきて危ないから靴を脱がないようにっていう目印なの。
Listen to how calm and lovely the music is. How lovely the music is. The music is excellent. It's an audiovisual novel after all, so I couldn't help but laugh at the silly contrivance. My laughter naturally spread to the other two.
園崎家も大昔養蚕とかやってたことがあるらしくてね。ご先祖様はツバメ退治に躍起になったそうだけどね。それを思うとこれはちょっと罰当たりなのかな。
Hey, hi. Welcome, Rudok. Terve.
上がって上がって。
Yeah, sound novel. That's an apt description for Higurashi, so... Yeah, I would say that that's rather accurate. Inside of the house wasn't very bright at all. It was dimly lit, in fact, but mysteriously I could still feel an elegance to the place. Mion seemed to want a more modern building, but traditional houses like this aren't bad either.
冗談でしょ。隙間風は入るし、冬場は寒いし。人の家を勝手に文化財にして改築を妨害しないでもらいたいね。一番の理想はケイちゃんの家でしょ。あれは羨ましいよな。冬場は暖かそうだし。
Smug Mion.
あ、でも雪下ろしは大変かもね。
雪下ろしは大変って、そんなに雪が降るのか、ひなみ沢は。井戸は関東より南なくらいだろ。ここいらって暖かい土地なんじゃないのか。
ケイチくん知らないの？
For some reason that laugh reminded me of Creepy Rena.
ひなみ沢は豪雪地帯なんだよ。大雪が降るとみんな埋まっちゃうの。玄関なんか埋まっちゃう時もあるんだよ。止めた車が完全に埋まっちゃって見つからないことだってあるんだから。
I wasn't aware of that. Hinamizawa was that bad a place in the winter? Come to think of it, my dad, he said something like this place got plenty of snow so we could have fun building igloos. Still, your front door getting buried, not being able to find your car? That's way too much snow.
地理の授業で習ったでしょ。日本海側は大陸からの寒風がそのまま流れてくるからね。山脈で遮られてぬくぬくしてるような軟弱な太平洋側とはわけが違うんだから。
俺、軟弱でもぬくぬくでも何でもいい。寒いのは嫌だ。
Sorry, I had a message. A message!
これは今年の冬はケイちゃんを寒さに慣らすための強化合宿が必要だね。
This is such a lovely game now, isn't it?
嫌だ嫌だ、全力で嫌だ。寒いのは嫌いだ。強化合宿も嫌いだ。両方合わさったらもっと嫌いだ。
Mion laughed more uproariously than she ever had. Then she told us she'd bring out some tea and left her seat for the moment.
でもね、
Oh. Oh, that's beautiful. That's actually really freaking beautiful. Let's see if I can show this off in the stream somehow. Check that out. That's a beautiful looking picture. Winter pictures are always so freaking beautiful. I really like winter. Although, like, I really like how winter looks, even though well, actually, I'm kind of adverse to cold, but I'm also adverse to hot, so, or extreme weather anyways. Even now it's too warm for me, and it's only plus 20 degrees, so. But man, that looks absolutely beautiful. Thanks for posting that pic, that looks really cool. Literally really cool. Horrible puns aside. Let us continue.
冬は冬で楽しいことがいっぱいあるんだよ。冬の部活もね、きっと楽しいんだよ。
冬の部活か。実に嫌な響きのある部活だと。寒中水泳やら雪中行軍やら。ここはいつから八甲田山になったんだ。
確かに冬場の罰ゲームは辛いのが多いね。雪が降ってる校庭でリオのカーニバルをさせられたことある。
I see the terror of our club cared not for the season. The victor would be decided by who could best adapt to winter-only events.
雪合戦もやるし、かき氷の大食いとか雪中宝探しとか。
だからなんで外で遊ぶんだよ。雪が降ってんだからぬくぬくとお部屋でテーブルゲームで遊べばいいじゃないかよ。
ケイチくん、そんなこと言ってると冬場はいっぱい負けちゃうかもね。ケイチくん、罰ゲームいっぱいでレナは負けない。はう。
Aww.
合うじゃねえ。
盛り上がってるな。壁が薄いんだからぶち抜かないようにしてよね。
The paper sliding door opened and Mion returned with a pot and a complete tea set.
お茶受けはごませんでいい？羊羹とか気の利いたものがなくて申し訳ないね。
あ、いいよいいよ。別にお茶を飲みに来たわけじゃないし。
And with those words, the smile disappeared from Rena's face. Ah, she did it. That one careless statement reminded us of what we had nearly been able to forget. I had wanted to enjoy this peaceful time for a little longer, but we put an end to that with those honestly careless words. When she noticed the smile disappear from Rena's expression, Mion too changed hers. It was as if the cheerful air that was like a warm spring day until a moment ago had slipped through the cracks in the paper door and altogether disappeared. There was no point in regretting it now. We did not come here today to chat and enjoy ourselves. Mion silently poured the tea. During that time, both Rena and I sat kneeling without uttering a word. We couldn't even mutter a word of acknowledgement at those natural words of courtesy.
毒なんか入ってないよ。そこまで信用ないかな。心外だね。
Mion gave a bitter smile at that and let her shoulders droop. We all remained silent. We remained silent, hoping that someone else would speak up first. That was, however, the one thing we didn't want to do, and so we sat for a long time. At last, Mion smiled scornfully and opened her mouth to speak.
おいおい、ケイちゃんもレナも。客はそっちなんだよ。用があって来たんじゃないの。そっちから切り出してくれなきゃ、おじさんも困っちゃうんだけどな。
Lena and I exchanged glances, and we both resigned ourselves. Lena opened her mouth to speak first, so I stopped her.
ケイチ君。
いいんだ。俺は来るべくして来たんだ。俺から喋らせてくれ。
うん。わかった。
ケイちゃんが私に何の話かな。
Delicious, delicious coffee.
お宅のお嬢さんを私にください。
What a casual joke. What a funny joke.
ダメだよ。うちのレナはケイちゃんとは釣り合わないね。味噌汁で顔を洗って出直しておいで。
Afterwards, I thought her mean remarks were Mion's own way of showing consideration. Mion had said those mean things in totally normal voice, and it drained the tension from my shoulders.
ミオ、まず謝ることがある。
ケイちゃんが何を？
Mion pretended that she didn't know what I was talking about, but I'd clearly gotten my point across.
渡流しの晩、俺は神社の祭具殿に入ったんだ。
I could see Mion's expression immediately become harder.
入ってはいけない場所だったのは知ってた。でもほんのちょっとした探検のつもりで悪気はなかったんだよ。でも
We?
いけないことだったんだよな。
Well, that just spoiled all of it. An interesting choice of words, I must say.
謝る。この通り。
To display my deepest sincerity, I pressed my forehead to the table. Ah, this is the... So... yeah? I can't remember the name of when you what the action actually means. So, oh well. I'd meant it as my way of prostrating myself. I figured it wouldn't feel sincere enough if I raised my head right away, so I left it there on the table for a while. Mion didn't say anything. With my face down, I couldn't tell what sort of expression Mion had. Only the voices of cicadas filled the room. Mixed with them, I could hear the sound of the clock ticking. That was all. When I started to struggle to breathe from having my head down for so long, Mion told me to stop.
参ったな。いきなり直球勝負で来るとは思わなかったよ。参った参った。
I looked up to see that Mion's face was calm, but she was smiling faintly.
ケイちゃんにとっては面白半分の探検でも、それが笑い事では済まないと思ってる人たちも大勢いるってことを、ちょっとでも理解してくれたなら。それでいいよ。郷に入りては郷に従えって昔から言うもんね。
Okay, and now I'll get some more coffee. Things are escalating finally. Ooh. Things are escalating rather a lot.
あれからもう何日も経ってる。今更だとは思うが謝る。悪かった。許してくれ。
I could feel pitiful tears welling up within me. If I had done this sooner, maybe nothing terrible would have happened.
いいよ。ケイちゃんが悪いことをしたと思ったならそれでいいんじゃない？
Mion spoke like it was someone else's problem, and I wasn't happy about it.
兄ちゃん、ケイチ君はちゃんと真面目に謝ってるんだ。
Predictions how this will end. I can't remember how the actual anime ended, so I have very little idea how this will end. Probably... we will find where Shion is. Whether she's alive or not. I do remember that she was captured or something like that, so yeah. But that's about all of the predictions I have, so don't ask me for predictions, I have none.
みーちゃんも真剣に答えてあげるべきじゃないのかな。かな。
私は真剣だよ。レナには私が不真面目そうに見える？
見えるよ。
Rena was giving her tit for that, and so the room's atmosphere quickly began to grow sharper. She was right. Even though I came here to speak from the heart like this, it felt like she hasn't been taking this seriously. Obviously, Rena isn't fond of that.
ケイチ君。もういいよ。全部話そう。みーちゃんもそれを望んでいるようだし。
I had known it would turn out like this from the beginning. Hadn't I come here prepared for that? I mustered my willpower and bit my lip.
ミオ、おとといリカちゃんとサトコを呼んだろ。
覚えはないけど、そう思うに足る根拠があるなら聞かせてもらえる？
夕方過ぎのお夕食前の時間、リカちゃんが来たはずだよ。お醤油の大瓶を持ってお裾分けしてもらいに。
Miel was trying to keep from showing any reaction, but I didn't miss her eyelid twitching just a little bit.
どうしてそう思う？
そんなに難しい話じゃない。みーちゃんも見たでしょ、リカちゃんの部屋。
Mian put a finger to her forehead and acted like she was thinking.
冷ややっこがあるのにお醤油がなかった。そして流しの下にあるはずの醤油の大瓶も瓶ごとなかった。
何それ。それが私のとこへ来る理由になるわけ。
ミオ、いい加減にしろ。お前が自分で回覧板に書いたんじゃないか。醤油をお裾分けするって。
Mion scratched her head. I heard her ever so faintly click her tongue. It was as though we found out she'd purposely given a too little change to a servant. That's all I could feel from her.
そしてみーちゃんはリカちゃんを隠してしまった。
Oh right. Rena hesitated for a moment. I could tell that she didn't want to use the word erased and that she was struggling to find another word.
そして本当はそれで終わりのはずだったんだよね。みーちゃんにとっては。
そりゃあどういう意味かな。
リカちゃんがみーちゃんの家に行くことをさとこちゃんに言い残していたのは誤算だったんじゃないかな。そしてさとこちゃんはみーちゃんの家に電話をした。うちのリカがお邪魔してませんこと？うん、きっとこんな感じ。
似てる似てる。
みーちゃんはちょっとまずいと思ったんだよね。リカちゃんがここに来たことを知る人間がいたから。だからさとこちゃんも誘い出そうと思った。
誘い出す？へえ。どんな感じでかな。
Mion prodded on, as if trying to get Rena on, as if trying to get a good part of an interesting story. Satoko came in last place. That's sad. I, however, knew. I had been watching Mion change the whole time. She was restlessly twirling her fingers. She had clearly lost her calm. Of course, it was really a slight thing, and only I, who had been watching her this whole time, would have known. Mion was panicking. What Rena was saying must have been a bullseye.
きっとこんな感じだよ。さとこ、実は今日食事を作りすぎちゃったんだけど食べに来ない？リカちゃんは先に来てもう食べてるよ。こんな感じ。
Ratch. Mion's nails stuck into her knee.
へえ。電話の内容の記録テープがあるわけでもないのに、どうしてそこまで。
冷蔵庫にさとこちゃんの作った2人分のお夕食がまるまる手つかずでラップに包まれて入ってたから。
For a few moments, Mion's face was frozen in utter amazement. She looked like she couldn't believe that this person in front of her was Rena.
そんなことで、どうやったら電話で喋った内容まで察しがついちゃうわけ？
Rena is amazing.
長くなるから説明は省くけど、冷蔵庫の中身がみーちゃんの呼び出した話の内容まで如実に物語っちゃってるの。
Mion's jaw remained on the floor. That was the only way I could describe her face.
これはとんだ名探偵が身近にいたもんだよ。 まさか冷蔵庫の中身だけで電話の内容まで見破るとは。参ったな。参った参った。
As if a dam had burst, Mion convulsed into laughter. Her laughter, though, definitely didn't make us want to laugh as well. Mion grew tired of her dumb laughter, heaved a big sigh, and scratched her head. It almost seemed like Mion had lost a detective punishment game for the club or something, and her punishment had been decided. Oh, how fun that would have been if it were true.
とんだ名探偵か。みーちゃんこそ大石さんがした会話の内容までよく察しがつくね。大石さんも私のこととんだ名探偵って言ったもの。
As soon as she heard Oishi-san's name, Mion's eyes began to display panic more clearly so that anyone would be able to tell.
警察はもうとっくにお前を疑ってるんだ。この家も大石さんの部下が踏み込もうと今も様子を伺ってる。
Mion attempted to feign calm, but it looked like she was having a hard time with that. Part of her couldn't believe that the police had her surrounded, and she closely examined Rena's facial expression. However, she couldn't detect a hint of falsehood. Finally, Mion seemed to accept the fact that the police were encircling the house.
村長さんもみーちゃんが
富武さんと高野さんもミオンなのか？
Mion didn't answer our rapid-fire questions. I could clearly see the impatience in her eyes, which were still feigning calm. At last, Mion, who had been sitting there lazily, readjusted her cushion and sat herself upright. At that moment, the atmosphere in the room changed completely. Mion's expression also changed. The impatience and wonderment in her expression disappeared, and she became so solemn you would think she was about to conduct a tea ceremony. I could sense it. It was now, in this moment. Mion had ceased to be Mion, but had changed into Mion Sonosaki, the current heir to the Sonosaki house. That solemn atmosphere about her was clearly abnormal, and was entirely different from that of the Mion that I knew. Now I could believe it. Now I could believe that she was the young leader who commanded the entire Sonosaki clan. Mion quietly placed both her hands on the tatami mat, and gave a beautiful elegant bow as if this were really a tea ceremony, and named herself.
初めてご挨拶申し上げます。園崎本家当主跡継ぎミオンでございます。
Mion's movements were so elegant they could cut, and we couldn't even answer her. All Rana and I could do was watch, baffled at her actions, which we could never imagine in her the normal her doing.
本日はようこそ園崎本家においでくださいました。当主お領に代わりまして皆様にご挨拶申し上げます。
Or you.
皆様におかれましてはいろいろお尋ねになりたいことがおありの様子。私にお話しできることでしたら包み隠さずお話ししたいと存じます。
What? What did Mion just say? Mion said she would answer anything we asked. There was a strong light of resolve in her eyes.
本当に何を尋ねてもいいんだ。
知る限りをお話しいたしましょう。皆様もそれを望んでここにいらしたのでしょうか。
Rana and I exchanged glances. There was a mountain of things we wanted to ask Mion. However, we hesitated for a moment on what we should ask first. The first question Rena gave was extremely abstract, But but it was the question everyone wanted to know right now.
どうしてこんなことを？
Why would you do this? Why would someone do this? Oh, the humanity! That was what I wanted to ask as well. Why would you do this? That didn't only go for Rika-chan and Satoko. It went for the mayor, Takano-san and Tomitake-san as well. No, even further back. For all the incidents that had been occurring every year. For a little while, Mion couldn't respond. Right when we realized that the question was too vague and tried to put it into more concrete terms, she finally opened her mouth to speak.
その問いに対する答えは
Here
少
is
し
on
長い
why
ものになります。
Here is on why Mion killed Rika and Satoko. They knew too much. I'm gonna go with the fact that they were going to be punished because they wanted to punish Keiichi. So that's kind of the reason. That's probably the best reason. So to punish Keiichi, they punished Rika and Satoko. That's the only reason I can see why. Don't know if I'm right or not.
それでもよろしければどうかご清聴いただきたく存じます。
She spoke clearly. She spoke with a clarity that a grandmother might use when telling a story from a long time ago.
ひなみ沢村がかつて鬼ヶ淵村と呼ばれていたことをご存知ですか？
Rena nodded lightly, then shot me a glance asking me if I did. I returned her a nod. Hinamizawa was once called Onikafuji village, yes. I heard all about it that night from Takano-san in the ritual storehouse. They firmly believed that demon blood ran through their veins and cut off all contact with the outside world. They were worshipped by those in the villages at the foot of the mountains and treated the transcendents, those capable of magic. Treated like transcendents, those capable of magic.
そうです。鬼ヶ淵村のご先祖様たちは鬼の血を引く誇り高き仙人たちでした。麓の村々の人たちは崇め、そして敬いました。ですが、そういう空気も徳川の世が終わるとともに廃れていきました。
The black ships arrived. The era of the samurai ended. The era of the national isolation ended. And the tradition of worshipping Onikafuji village quickly disappeared. Those things that linger from the past were all to be detested. That was the kind of era it became.
明治になり、古い歴史を持つ鬼ヶ淵村の名称は一方的にひなみ沢村に改められてしまいました。古い因習を一掃しようとする明治政府の思惑が強く働いたのだと聞かされています。
The abolition of feudal domains and the establishment of prefectures. An era had begun, seeing Japan sprinting up the stairs that were beyond their means to try and reach the same level as the rest of the world. Excuse me for a second, I must check a thing. All things in the Western style were to be extolled, while old traditional things were to be scorned. That was the sort of era it was.
そういう時代の激変の中で滝壺に落ちていく花びらのようにあっという間に鬼ヶ淵村は消えてしまったのです。
At last, Japan, provoked by the great European powers colonizing Countries in Asia, one by one, began a policy to increase its wealth and military power so that it could stand as a global power in its own right. Conscription began and they won war after war. The first Sino-Japanese War and the Russo-Japanese War, and until the Pacific War broke out, they recklessly climbed the staircase towards modernization.
この頃にはもう鬼ヶ淵村の不可侵性は失われていました。かつて仙人と崇められた村人たちは否認扱いを受け、神聖な鬼ヶ淵村はいつの間にか疫病患者の隔離集落の慣れの果てであるという根も葉もないレッテルを貼られ、苦難の時代を迎えることになったのでした。
Thus began harsh days where one would suffer unreasonable discrimination just because people knew one was from Onikafuji. The children in the village at the foot of the mountain were taught not to go near Hinamizawa because filthy germs were rampant there. Children who had come into contact with children in Hinamizawa would cry and wail as their parents purified the spot they were touched by rubbing salt on it. One of the adults said to the children that if you got lost in Hinamizawa, you would be kidnapped by demons, cut up into pieces and devoured. Never ever go near the terrifying village of the man-eating demons. That's what he taught them. Another said that during a famine long ago, the people of Hinamizawa gathered up all the corpses they discarded into the dry riverbeds and then cooked and ate them in order to survive. Groundless stories, but said in such seriousness. Baseless slander added to baseless slander, making Onikafuji village's historically accurate, thrilling history all the more believable. Perhaps the chain of undue discrimination was a manifestation of the people's anxiety towards the uncertain times. Of course the story didn't I forgot to breathe. The story didn't end only with the perspective of children. If anyone find out you were from Onikafuji, you would be turned down from any job you applied for. People would even go back on engagements and marriage proposals. As for the marriages where one partner had lied about it, as soon as the truth got out, they were made to divorce.
裁判も起こしました。出身の問題は離婚する重要な理由にはなり得ないと訴えた。でも敗訴しました。出身の虚偽は結婚の上での重大な詐称行為に当たるのだそうだ。
Huh. This is rather interesting.
ひどいね。そんなの。
Yeah. I've heard about such discrimination towards those in small villages in civics class. Just because others knew you were from a tiny hamlet, you would be subjected to every societal disadvantage there was, a modern form of bullying. Though I only memorized that because it was going to be tested on a test one time. I recall being suspicious about it and unable to believe such discrimination occurred in modern Japan.
まあ、自業自得と言えないこともないのかもしれません。私たちのご先祖様は自分たちに鬼の血が流れていることを誇りに思い、自慢し、麓の人々を蔑んで暮らしてきたのです。その神秘性で麓の村人たちを怖がらせ、畏怖と貢ぎ物の献上を要求してきたのですから。
With that, Mian smiled for the first time, albeit in self-mockery.
太平洋戦争中は国民一丸のスローガンが流れながらも、ひなみざわ村の人々はさまざまな差別を受け続けました。数え出したらキリがないくらい、夫や息子を戦場に送り出し、15の女たちも心がすさんでいたのでしょうね。 当時をよく覚えている祖母は、それは苦しい時代だったと回想しています。
Even that bitterly long war, however, finally ended in 1945.
多数の男手を失ったひなみ沢にも、ようやく父や夫、息子たちが戻ってまいりました。もちろん帰らぬ者も多かった。それでも男手がなく村を維持することにすら限界をきたしていたひなみ沢にとって、それはとても喜ばしいことでした。
MacArthur's GHQ set to work on drastically improving mindsets and strove for the abolition of unfair discrimination. They could feel day breaking on the dismal night that was the previous era.
廃村寸前だったひなみ沢をもう一度立て直そう。そういう機運が高まり、村人たちは村を少しでも豊かにするために働き始めました。
During that time, someone appeared who built up a fortune through a vast number of dealings in the black market. That was Mion's grandfather, the husband of the elderly current family leader Sohei Zonozaki.
宗平は中国大陸に出兵し、ハルピンで食料倉庫の管理をしていたといい、撤退時に上官や仲間たちと共謀して軍の缶詰をごっそりと盗み出していたのでした。それを瀬戸内海某所に隠し、闇市で高値で売りさばいて大きな富を得たのです。
Sohei didn't spend that fortune for his own pleasure either. He entrusted the entire amount to his wife, the head of the Zonozaki house.
廃れたひなみ沢を復興させよう。村人すべては家族であり、この富は共有の財産である。現当主である祖母はそう宣言しました。この大きな富は、その後のひなみ沢の復興の大きな力となったのです。
I see. With that, Hinamizawa came back to life, and that's how the Zonozaki family had established its current prosperity.
もちろん、闇市で財を成したことを妬む人たちも大勢いましたが、もう村人は気にしなかった。
They succeeded at one business venture after another. Those who had succeeded freely supported those who followed them. Giant family of Hinamizawa, tied together with strong bonds, kept expanding its influence. The Zonozaki family, the center of everything, would be extolled for a long time as the minds behind Hinamizawa's revitalization.
その活躍の中心人物がみーちゃんのおばあちゃんなんだね。すごいよね。大活躍。
Mion looked like she was honestly happy Rena had praised her.
ですが、昭和30年頃にまたしても逆風が吹き始めます。それが缶詰疑惑でした。
Canned flesh. It sounded so hideous that just hearing it made me nauseous.
祖父、園崎宗平の上官だったと名乗る男が告白したのです。彼の調達した缶詰は、実は食材を用いたものではなかったのだと。
Hinamizawa, a village in which demons lived and ate humans. They were just about to wipe away that cursed stigma. The light that they had finally started to see in their peaceful lives grew hazy and disappeared. The shocking truth, as revealed by his former superior, the stolen provisions from the old Japanese army that had been a huge cornerstone for Hinamizawa's revival, had been canned human flesh. Why were there cans like that? Wasn't Sohei just the manager of a food warehouses? His superior revealed that Sohei did not have the job of managing the food. In reality, Sohei's job during the war had been to exterminate pestilent mice and to transport the corpses of those with infectious diseases. It had been unfair treatment, and all because of the lowliness of his origins. As a result, though, he had returned safely without having been sent to the front lines or being detained. Perhaps that was the only fortunate thing to happen to him. Let me do one more thing, like, real quick. Apologies. Apologies real quick, I need to talk to my friend since he came online. Finally, Sohei List was enlisted as an assistant at the military and medical institution. There, however, he found something even worse than the low, scorned, depressing customs of Onigafuchi village in the research they were carrying out. Could that have been, well, you know, the bacteriological corpse in the old Japanese army or whatever? Keiichi-kun, you've heard that. What could it be? I was pretty sure it was Unit 731. It was nightmare unit that devoted itself to researching terrifying bacteriological weapons to break the deadlock in the war. They used many innocent people as fodder for horrible human experiments. They methodically observed how many days a new strain would take to kill the victims, how many days it would be when injected, how many days it would be when swallowed. They dissected many people to find that out. Sometimes they wouldn't bother waiting until they were dead and dissected them while they were still alive. Okay. They would strap them into centrifuges while still alive and crush them in decompression chambers while still alive. When a live human decompresses, all the holes in their body get pushed outwards, and their intestines get pushed out of their anus like snake winding out of it. I have a feeling I saw something like that on a documentary one time. That makes me sick. And they still hate Hinamizawa, huh? You said it. Mion agreed with me, giving a faint, sad smile. It wasn't much in the way of communication, but for some reason I was happy to have it right now.
僧兵がいた部隊はより現実的で温情的な研究をしていました。それは戦地での困難な食料調達に関する具体的な手法の研究でした。
Apologies once again. The military is just sorry about that. I'm communicating about the D&D with my friend, so yeah. The military's designs at the start of the war completely fell apart and a chronic food shortage broke out all over the battlefront. The food shortage led to malnutrition, and as their natural resistances lowered, the soldiers fell to one disease after another. spirit and morale lowered as well. They wouldn't be able to maintain their forces at this rate. Apparently that's where the research started. At first it was to find methods of delivering food to battlefields. It was very broad and included things from violent methods like stealing it from citizens to survival methods like how to cook unfamiliar insects and plant life. As they were working out the details, they kept straying off course and going out of control until they finally knocked down a door called Taboo. And with that, I will take a little bit of a break.